Hi Scorpio, welcome to your fortnightly check-in with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, a like. It really does help me and it really does help the channel. I would be eternally grateful. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves ya. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. All right, so before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, let me pop these here up. For your cross purposes, what is getting in the way of all of your goodness, or where are you tripping yourself up over this fortnight? And this time around, you get the death card, right? So, what's the easiest way to say this? Scorpio, it's you, right? You are getting in your own way this fortnight, and that is the thing that you need to be really, really careful of. And the reason I say this is because, as you know, Scorpio is, the death card is Scorpio, right? This is your card, your energy. And so it's really important that, yes, you give yourself grace and time and freedom and energy to be yourself, but more importantly, when you know you're doing something because it's the way that you want to do it, or, you know, when you're being you, basically, this is the week where you need to, fortnight, where you need to give yourself a little kick up the tush and say, hey, listen, what's actually behind this, right? Because there's a chance here. This basically suggests that there's a potential for you to self-sabotage this fortnight. Okay, so just be mindful of that. It could also suggest as well, something is coming to a close, an end, or a release point, and there's a part of you that's almost wanting to refuse to let it go. Now, with this, you have the Lord of the wild and fertile land. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Hermetic deck. I love them. They're so, yeah, anyway. So it's the Knight of Pentacles. First things first. If you have, if you've had any problems, challenges, or issues with your car, even if you know it's going to cost you, get it fixed or get rid of it. All right, I'm just going to tell you straight up. The Knight of Pentacles represents, you know, among other things, is a form or a mode of transport. If you know your car is on its way out, either replace it. You know, I'm saying this like, yeah, of course, because you're just going to pull money out your ass. I don't mean it like that. What I'm saying is, if you know this thing and you're like, well, you know, I'd rather just save my money and just keep plodding along. It's not that anybody's going to be hurt or anything, but at the same time, it's like anything if you leave it too long, all right? Now, on a more sort of, you know, philosophical level, I guess I could say. Just like, that one's like really eluded me for a minute. What this actually does suggest is that this is one of those times where, what do they call it? There's a term for this and I've forgotten what it is. It's, you know, the sunk cost fallacy. This could be that there's something that you've been working on or towards for a long time. It hasn't yielded any fruit. It hasn't come to bear and you just refuse to let it go. Now, as somebody who has two of their big three in fixed signs, I can tell you from personal experience, the fixed signs have a tendency to flog a dead horse. That horse could be buzzing with flies, stinking up the whole place, and, you know, the fixed signs will still be like, no, no, we can breathe life into this. And it's like, just let it go. If there's something that you know has kind of seen its purpose and it's just not paying any fruit, any dividends, any, you know, enrichment or nourishment, just let it go, all right? Like, it's time. For your actions and interactions with the world at large, you've got the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, right, so this fortnight, you are being encouraged. So what this suggests is you are connecting with somebody on potentially a more, on a deeper or more intimate level. Doesn't have to be, you know, personal, it could be professional, it could be platonic. There's definitely a contract or a connection of some sort that is attached to this though. Now the Lovers card being choice as well as, you know, love and relationships, this does suggest that a Queen of Cups, a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, could be a part of this, maybe helping you or in, you know, talks with, negotiating with you in some way, shape or form. And there's you trying to figure this out. And I kind of feel like you're too much in the mind. Come down out of there and check in with your heart space. We know that you're shrewd, you're very intelligent, but it's not always your brain that gives you the best answers. Sometimes you have to feel it out. And, you know, one thing that I have observed about Scorpio people, they often feel at such a deep level that's because I see Scorpio as ice, right? You know, it's fixed water. They often feel at such a deep level that it goes numb. They switch it off so that it doesn't, you know, because otherwise it just interferes with everything. This is one of those times where you've got to thaw that water out so that you can start to get into the heart space and ask yourself, what is the truth of what I actually want out of this? That way you can be objective, but you can also be honestly invested, is the words that I feel like I'm supposed to say to you. So for your career and communications, you've got the Tower, okay, so always a nice experience. Depending on how you meet it, actually, in all fairness. Then you've got the Justice card, so again, commitments and contracts. And then you've got the Two of Wands, so it looks like some of you want out of a contract, or you are wanting to renegotiate a contract because it doesn't necessarily feel like it's fair, equal, or balanced. Fine by me, listen, you get yours. But remember to ask yourself what you want at that heart space level before you start saying, well, no, this isn't fair, and I want this, and I want that, or I don't want that, or I don't want this. Ask yourself why, right, on that deeper level, because that's where the best answer is going to come from. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could be where you come up against some kind of rule, regulation, or even ridiculous like this. And it feels, to be honest with you, because it's the Tower, this is something new. So let's say for the last 2 years of your degree, just an example, I don't know how you're studying or what mode, blah, blah, blah. You know, you've been studying like this, your funding has been like this, everything has gone to a plan and a sequence. And all of a sudden something changes and you're like, no, hang on a sec, that's going to completely fuck up everything that I'm trying to do or trying to achieve. Battle it out, because that Two of Wands does suggest that you will succeed. All right. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, similar kind of energy. Your boss may present you over the next fortnight. We're changing everyone's contracts. We're adapting work conditions and responses. You know, all of the technical bollocks that they use to try and cheat you out of more stuff and get you to do more work for basically the same or less money. This may be something like that. Again, battle it out, but don't do this on your own. All right, partner up, buddy up, look around you and find your allies. When you speak with one united voice, you will get much further. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this may actually be the breaking of a contract. And, you know, in the back of my mind, I have this feeling that a lot of you are going to be like, oh, you know, that it's really sad. I'm really like a client comes to you and says, you know, or someone that you work for on behalf comes to you and says, you know, well, you know, we're leaving and, you know, I don't think that this is right for us anymore. And in the back of your mind, I feel like you're like, oh, thank fuck for that. I'm kind of glad to be rid of you, to be completely honest with you. So actually, I'm here for it, right? I actually think this is going to be a breaking of a contract that you guys are happy about. You know, so I'm with that. And also it's going to coincide with a simultaneous coming in. So it's going to be like one out the door, one in. So this could be great. If you're retired and no longer working, this is going to be a piece of paperwork, a document. I mean, at the moment, everything price-wise is going up for everyone, wherever. But this may be one that you really don't expect. I'm really sorry to say, and I hope that's not the case. Again, if you battle it out and kind of say, listen, you're going to have to do better than this, you will probably get a good result. For your love and relations, you've got the Star card. Beautiful. with the Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay. And the Nine of Pentacles. If you are single, you are meeting someone online over this next fortnight and the talk is going to be fire. There's banter, there's laughter, but there's also a shared, not commitment. There's something that you and this person really bond over. You know, like it's normal when you get with someone, you have shared interests or things that you both used to do at some point. But this is something that you are both very passionate about, which is great, right? When you can find that kind of common ground before the relationship has even started, it can only go from strength to strength because you've always got something to keep you linked in a way. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is where it's going to be interesting because this almost suggests that you and your partner are really, it's like you're starting to enact the first steps of a much larger or longer term plan. And this potentially either takes you cross country, potentially even abroad. It's going to see you both working very hard on something for a good while. And you probably won't even start to see any seeds sprouting from this until at least like early to mid-September. And even then, it will probably just be like the first poke through the soil. So whatever you're doing looks absolutely blessed. I've got no problems with it at all. I'm actually very happy for you. It just looks like it's going to be a very long process that requires a lot of hard work. Again, nothing wrong with that. Finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Ten of Swords. Okay, not the easiest, but, you know, we work with what we've got. With the Eight of Pentacles, okay, and the Fool, right? That dead horse that some of you seem to be wanting to flog, I am going to say to you, financially, if there's something that you know you need to let go of, if it's going to cost you, so if it's going to cost you more to fix it than it is just to buy a bloody new one over the long run, don't do it. So as an example, here in the UK, we have this thing called an MOT. I don't know if anywhere else in the world has it because, quite frankly, I'm a little bit ignorant like that. So I apologise. But basically, you have to get an MOT for your car every year to make sure that it's roadworthy. And sometimes the repair costs, or, you know, for what it's going to take to get that car roadworthy, it's like, that's like half of what the car's worth. What is the point? Scrap it and just get a new one. And I don't say that because it's easy, but I'm giving you an example of how this could play out. It might be foolish of you to work on something that is going to go bust eventually anyway. And if I had to give you a time sequence on this, whatever this thing is that you're going to try to repair or patch up, you have weeks left of whatever it is. It's a physical item. When it comes to your physical health and vitality on the other side of this, this looks like a lot of you are really starting to work on the spiritual, physical dynamic of your body. So some of you, it looks like you're doing energy healing, really doing a lot of work on your physical self through the auric and the spiritual bodies, which, listen, I'm totally here for. Another way that this could also show up as well, for a lot of you, it looks like you're bringing your work home. That is potentially a problem, all right? So just be mindful that, you know, you can't work every single hour. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week, fortnight. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.